Wait, so sorry about that. It's actually my first time to stream. So how can I? So I thought I was recording a while ago. So now let's go back to BTC USD. Let's use Bitstamp and let's remove first the drawings so that it's a fresh new look. So actually on a daily chart, if so it's actually on, let's plot first the trend, or maybe let's look at first the long term trend. So oh, sorry. So let's look it on a weekly and let's plot the trend line. So here is the resistance on a long-term trend, and this is the support. So it's actually a symmetrical triangle if you look at it. So still trading within this range. And if you look at closely, if close, you can see that it's already near the resistance. So let's see if it could it if it will break this weekly resistance. Because yeah, it will close within 3 days. Actually, it's a monthly and weekly close. So if you look at the monthly chart, so could possibly retest around 10,500. That's actually the target on a monthly. That's the resistance on a monthly. On a weekly, since it's already near resistance, I expect a possible pullback. Or if it breaks this level next, so our first resistance is around 9.8 and our second resistance is around this level. So that's around 10,400. So let's see if it will break this level. However, I think let's look at the other indicators on actually we're using the weekly. Well, on a RSI, let's see if it will break this and move and could possibly retest this area. So actually it's on a critical level on a weekly. So let's see how it goes. While the MACD, well, actually it's crossed here and it's moving higher. So it's more positive on MACD, and the candle is bullish. So possible resistance is around 98, and the next resistance is around 10,400. Support on the other hand is at 9,004. I mean not around 8,800. Wait, let's just change it to green. And let's look on the daily chart. So if you look at the daily chart, let's make it a bit. So if you look at the daily chart, the next resistance is, yeah, that's 9/8 and around 10,400. That's the key levels to break. And of course, the support is around 8,800. So watch out really for that possible breakout. But if you look at it, since as it's a symmetrical triangle, so let's plot the possible long-term targets. So the possible long-term target is, let's plot the arrow here because this is the possible next target. And let's put it upon breakout. So, sorry. So if it break at this level, possible target over the long term is actually here, around 28,000. However, normally for a triangle, it usually breaks near the apex. So if that will move us to another possible option. So if not, it will move within this range and possibly break out at that level. Me, regardless of, I mean, at least both of it, I'm looking at it is more on a bullish sign because I think the sell-off is already over last March. So that's so the possible next targets. So we have two targets here since it's a symmetrical triangle. So if it breaks at this level within this, our possible target is around 28,000. However, if it resists at this level around 9/8, possibly trade within the symmetrical triangle range. And yeah, I'm expecting a second option to break at this level. So the second option is targeting around 24,000. So there you go, guys. And well, anyway, let's look at also the other candles. If you look at the Hikin Ashi is looking great. It's actually a bullish candle, and even on the Renko chart is, if you look at it, it's a white forming white, which means also a bullish signal. But mostly, it's most traders are actually using the candlestick as their use when using charts. So next, so that's my target. I actually entered long at 8/8, and yeah, I'm more than 200 plus positive, but I put a trailing stop so that in case that it will reversed, I'll take the king. So yeah, there you go, guys. Also, when making leverage, especially I'm using 100 times leverage, always put, of course, the TP, and of course, my TP is actually the 9/8, and of course, trailing stop or stop loss, so that you will not get liquidated. So this is our target for the this is actually our short term, I mean long term targets, the 28 and 24. On a short term, it really depends on the time frame you're using. So me, actually, on a short term, I'm using the 3 hours. So still, actually, I'm still the same. 9/8, 9/8 still my TP, and I put a trailing stop negative 100, so that if, you know, since I the key things to remember is, of course, the resistance is 9/8, and the possible support is around 8/8. But actually, you can also use this on a short term around 9,200. So yeah, it's actually really depends on how you trade. Now let's move on to ETH. So actually, ETH, BTC ETH, and oh, I forgot. Before we move on the ETH, let's plot the trend line here, because actually I will compare that later on to Ethereum and Litecoin. So let's just delete this. So if you look at it, oh, actually it's also within the uptrend channel. So yeah, there's more probability that it will possibly retest the 9/8 here. How about the RSI going up? Even the MACD seems like it's going up. So it's actually more bullish signal on the Bitcoin. So I'm just right. No, actually, I'm just kidding. No. I mean, I just entered at a very low price. So that's why, because I'm looking at here at already at support level. So let's see if the 9/8 will if it breaks that 9/8, the next target is 10,400, and support it's still at 8,800. So for ETH, I think that's the key things that we need to know on the BTC. So on Ethereum, let's also plot first the support and resistance, or the trend line. So the trend is same with BTC, which is also going up. I'm also long here. I'm long to both, I mean to three cryptocurrencies in futures: BTC, LTC, and Ethereum. So, but of course with a tight trailing stop. So I'm expecting that the next possible resistance for Ethereum is around 218. So support is around 200. So, but if it breaks the 218, next possible support, I mean next possible resistance is already at this level. So around 230 already. So that's the possible next resistance. So it really depends on how you trade. I mean, what time frame you use. For futures traders like me, it's very important to, of course, manage the risk and always put stop loss and take profit, because sometimes the market just get crazy. So yeah, there you go for Ethereum. My target is 218 as a resistance, and if it breaks that 218, possible next key resistance is around 230, and support still at 200. Also, if you look at the Hikinashi, still the same. It's actually more bullish. Same with, how about this? Same with Renko. So all the three candlestick type that I'm using is more bullish. So there you go for Ethereum. And the last one is LTC. The the drawings. So for LTC, so let's plot first. Oh, let's plot first the trend line. And here, so that's actually what I'm looking for Ethereum. I mean Litecoin. So if you look at it, it's actually near the apex, and if it breakouts, but let's look at first a let's plot first the support and possible resistance. So the support is around 42, and the resistance I'm looking at is actually at 48. Let's make it. So possible long-term target. Actually, I'm also holding, I mean, really holding Litecoin, because I think it's a good coin and possible good return, aside from, of course, Ethereum and BTC. So let's plot the possible long-term target. So I'm not actually seeing a breakout within this level. Possibly this near the apex around here. So I think it will, from here, it could possibly trade within this range and until it break out at that level. So my target is actually, long-term target is to go back to around 172. So that's why I'm also accumulating LTC. So yeah, there you go, guys. If you have some comments, questions, and feedback, please feel free to reach me out. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. It's actually my first time to um, go live stream. Anyway, see you again tomorrow, same time. Thanks, guys.